You finally defeated your toughest rival. You've obliterated a handful of legendary Pokemon. You're at the peak of your career as a Pokemon trainer, and then one day, a random girl shows up and calls you a little kid. Iris. One of Ash Ketchum's most polarizing companions. A child prodigy who eventually works her way to become the champion of the Unova region. People either love her for the fun things she brings to the Pokemon anime, or hate her for the controversial comments she says. This is Complete History, where we tackle the entire story of various trainers and Pokemon throughout their time in the show. In this video, we are breaking down the complete history of Iris, her time throughout the Black and White saga, her return in Pokemon Journeys, her bond with her Pokemon and her friends, and so much more. Iris debuts by popping out of a tree as she and her partner Axew witness a strange phenomenon where dark clouds that roar lightning circulate in Unova town. It is here that we immediately get to see more of a curious and adventurous character as Iris swings from tree to tree to check out what's happening. We know that this event is caused by the Zekrom, but Iris just misses out on seeing the legendary dragon. Later, Ash Ketchum, who just arrived in Unova, is very excited to catch some new Pokemon. He sees a purple something rustling in a bush, so he quickly throws his Pokemon to catch it. Turns out that purple thing is actually Iris. Ash apologizes and Iris accepts the apology. Iris is immediately excited to see a Pikachu, a Pokemon that's not normally found in the Unova region. She hugs and squeezes the electric mouse so much that Pikachu unleashes a Thunderbolt attack, the first time that Pikachu electrocutes a female companion in her introduction instead of her bike. Iris decides to follow Ash in his pursuit of finding Zekrom, and the next thing you know, they're already traveling companions along with Silent, who joins in a little bit later. Throughout their early travels, we see that Ash has been a little bit rusty with his skills as a Pokemon trainer. The same person who defeated legendaries in the past is somehow now ignorant of basic Pokemon mechanics. Ash's stupidity in early Black and White has caused Iris to belittle him, constantly calling him a kid and telling him that he's got a lot more growing up to do. And most fans back in the day, and even some now, hated Iris for this. We lost a huge part of Ash Ketchum's development in Black and White, and the fans lashed their anger out on Iris as it sounded like she was undermining all of his amazing accomplishments in the first 4 generations before even getting to know him. Fortunately for us, Ash Ketchum slowly gets back to his usual self, and Iris only becomes a rootable and entertaining character as the series progresses. Iris is an active girl who likes climbing trees and swinging on vines, eating berries which she picked from trees, and even sleeping in trees. Iris has a great relationship with nature that she's able to develop certain skills that allow her to avoid danger. Iris and Ash have one of the most dynamic friendships in the series. One day they'll be training together, and the next day they'll bicker about the pettiest of things. They're so similar that they both find entertainment and annoyance in one another. As for Silent, Iris' relationship with him is one of the most interesting ones between Ash's companions. He is gentle, she is rugged. He is book smart, she is street smart. He is analytical, and she is creative. They're so different that they mesh perfectly together. Iris and Silent complement each other's personalities, and Iris is someone who learns a lot from Silent's Pokemon knowledge or whatever thing he's geeking about. She also always asks and listens to Silent's advice when it comes to training Pokemon. Now let's talk about her Pokemon. Iris received Axew as a gift from the elder in her village called the Village of Dragons. Raising a Dragon-type Pokemon is a difficult task after all. Axew starts out super weak and fragile, but Iris manages to raise him into quite the competent battler by the time the series ends. When Iris and Axew are attacked by an angry Scolipede, she sends out her actual first Pokemon, Excadrill. But right now, Excadrill is cloistered in its shell and doesn't seem like it wants to interact with Iris at all. Excadrill proves to be a powerful Pokemon and saves Iris and Axew, but he's still not ready to open up to the world. Next, Bianca's aiming to capture this gluttonous and mischievous Moga who uses a track to get what she wants. Bianca consistently fails at this, but after a long adventure with Iris in the woods, Imoga chooses to join her team instead, much to Bianca's disappointment. Later on, Iris is met by Georgia, a self-proclaimed Dragon Buster. This girl aims to defeat all Dragon-type Pokemon, especially those from the Village of Dragons, after experiencing a hard loss against a trainer from that place. Georgia challenges Iris to a battle. Axew doesn't stand a chance against Georgia's Beartick as it easily succumbs to her super effective Ice-type moves. Iris sends out her next Pokemon and it's Excadrill, and Excadrill is still enclosed and doesn't want to battle. But when Beartick provokes it, Excadrill comes out of its shell and battles Beartick without listening to Iris. Beartick still wins the battle and Georgia walks out, leaving Iris disappointed after her loss. This is when Iris reflects on the day she met Excadrill. Iris once made an enemy out of this Drillbur who was messing with her Pokemon friends. She even fought this Drillbur with her bare feet. She lost and lost and lost, and it took her 10 times to finally defeat it. After saving Drillbur from an accident, they become partners. Iris and Drilbur were an unstoppable duo, winning their first 99 battles in a row, and Drilbur evolved in the process. It's funny how this isn't the first 99 win streak that we actually see in the anime. But when they met Dragon Master Drayden, Iris challenges him to a battle. Iris and Excadrill were not very much in sync, resulting in their very first loss. This caused Excadrill to stay inside its shell, and despite multiple efforts by Iris to communicate, he still wouldn't want to open up. It wasn't until Silent pointed out that maybe Iris wasn't considering Excadrill's feelings that Iris really started to connect with Excadrill. This wonderful moment snowballs into Excadrill learning Focus Blast, and during her rematch with Georgia and Beartic, their battle ends in a tie this time. Iris, Ash, and Silent would then compete in the club battle. Georgia's here too, but it is Ash who gets the honor to defeat the Dragon Buster. Iris battles and beats Jimmy Ray, Steven, Luke, and finds herself in the finals against Ash Ketchum. It's Excadrill versus Pikachu, but now being in sync with each other, Iris and Excadrill's training has paid off as they defeat Ash and Pikachu and win the club battle. It's no secret that Iris loves dragon types. She wants to be a Dragon Master someday after all. One time she helps calm down a Dredigan, and she even gave some advice to the trainer about raising dragon type Pokemon. However, Iris actually didn't always like dragons. As a kid, Iris disliked dragon types because she thought that they were scary. But after encountering an injured Dredigan, she treats its injuries, and then Dredigan proceeds to save Iris from trouble later on. This changed Iris' perception of dragon types. It is here that she started to love them and realized that deep inside their ferocious appearance, dragon Pokemon do have a kind heart. But then there's another one type of Pokemon that Iris dislikes, Ice types. Clearly because that's the type that dragons are weak against. Though it's not as severe as Misty's fear of bug types, Iris would often shudder at the presence of ice types, and she'd sometimes wear extra layers of clothing compared to others in a cold environment. But in an episode involving a group of overcharged Ferroseed who produce moss that overtake a research center, Iris works alongside and even commands Georgia's Vanillix to stop the moss from spreading and save the research center. Here comes Verbank City. Iris and the gang stumble across the Sinnoh champion Cynthia. Iris is actually a big fan of Cynthia, seeing as she's also someone who trains a dragon type. Iris challenges Cynthia to a battle. It's Axew versus Garchomp. At one point, Axew is actually able to knock down the pseudo-legendary, but Garchomp clearly dominates the battle to the point that Cynthia has to stop the battle so that Axew wouldn't get hurt any further. Cynthia then invites Iris, Ash, and Silent to join the Pokemon World Tournament Junior Cup Tournament World Cup of the World, and she even accommodates them to stay in her villa along with Dawn, who also aims to win the tournament. Before the tournament, this rogue Dragonite accidentally destroys a power plant after getting injured from protecting a flock of Pidove. The townspeople are mad and misunderstand this, thinking that Dragonite purposely destroyed the power plant, but Iris knows the heart of a dragon and believes there's something more to this. Iris defends Dragonite from the angry mob, and they're able to prove Dragonite's innocence. In the end, Dragonite shyly asks to be caught by Iris, and with that, Iris adds her second dragon type to her team. However, Dragonite is still the rogue Pokemon that he is because during the Junior Cup, he disobeys every order that Iris said. Iris is matched up against Georgia in the first round. Dragonite takes every Ice type attack that Beartic could send, but Dragonite retaliates by himself and defeats the Snow Bear without following Iris' commands. After the battle, Cynthia says that Dragonite still doesn't fully trust humans yet. She calms it down, hopeful that Dragonite is going to soon open up to humans. Next round, Iris battles Dawn in a Brawn vs. Brawn battle between Dragonite and Mamoswine. Once again, Dragonite doesn't listen to Iris and defeats Mamoswine with its own tactics. Iris, or should I say Dragonite, advances to the semifinals where he battles Ash's Krokorok. Iris decides to give it one more chance to battle with Dragonite, and to everyone's surprise, Dragonite obeys her commands. But it doesn't last long since Dragonite still doesn't fully trust its trainer. Dragonite's stubbornness is finally punished as a newly evolved Krookodile finishes it off with a super effective Stone Edge. Iris and Dragonite still have a long way to go together, but at least we've seen progress in their bond during this battle. It is only until the Operation Tempest arc finale where Dragonite would fully obey Iris. In the middle of Unova's survival crisis, Dragonite is able to understand his trainer's feelings and he now fully trusts her, so he and Iris provide a huge help in stopping Team Rocket's evil plans. Iris would soon visit her hometown, the Village of Dragons, and reunite with her childhood friend Shannon. You see, when Iris went to study in Opelucid Academy, she didn't really fit in with any of the students. She practically made no friends and wasn't able to adjust to the urban life, so she would often send letters to Shannon. Soon after, Iris quit school and went back to her village. Now, Iris helps motivate Shannon to pursue her dream of leaving the village to go on her own journey, which the Elder approves of. Afterwards, Iris and the gang travel to Opelucid City, where she engages in a battle rematch versus Drayden. This battle shows how Iris has grown as a Pokemon trainer, as she and Excadrill finally tie with Drayden and Haxorus. The final matchup is between Druddigon and the now beating Dragonite, but the battle results in Dragonite's defeat. Iris spends her final episodes traveling with Ash and Silent around the Decolor Islands. They're able to bond with lots of trainers and Pokemon during this relaxing expedition. And they even get to battle Ash's Charizard, although Dragonite loses. In the end, the trio part ways and Iris decides to travel to Blackthorn City in the Johto region to train with Gym Leader Claire. During her time with Claire, Iris and Dragonite challenge her to a battle against her shiny Druddigon, but again, Dragonite is defeated. But at least she catches a Gibble, her third Dragon-type Pokemon. Her story ends when we see Rayquaza flying in the sky, and Iris excitedly tries to follow it, which only further ignites her dream to becoming a Dragon Master. 3 generations later, Iris returns to Pokemon Journeys, as she sends a letter to Ash saying that she's been traveling around Unova, with her dream of becoming a Dragon Master still burning brighter than ever. Iris then challenges Ash to a Great Class battle, which is scheduled to happen in Opelousas City. When Ash arrives at the battlefield, Iris makes a grand entrance with her new outfit. Drayden introduces her as the new champion of the Unova region, which means that this long-awaited battle is going to be between 2 best friends who work their way into becoming regional champions. But despite their esteemed status, we see that Ash and Iris are still kids, playfully bickering and teasing each other about how much of a kid they are. It's going to be a 2-on-2 battle, and Ash plans to fight Iris' dragons with his own dragons. The first match is between 2 Dragonites, one sweet and huggable one, and a scary and monstrous one. Iris gets excited seeing that Ash is a Dragonite as well. She goes to hug her and bond with her, and it is here that we continue to see that Iris indeed has the power to feel the emotions of Dragon Pokemon. The battle starts out with intense power as both pseudo-legendaries clash their powerful moves, but it seems that Iris' Dragonite is getting the upper hand. Ash switches out to Dracovish, who instantly gets a bite on Iris' Dragonite, blocking him from hearing any of Iris' commands. Dracovish takes his first win with Ice Fang, and so Iris sends out her second Pokemon. It's Haxorus. Yes, the once wimpy Axew who got lost in the Unova League had managed to train so hard and gain enough experience to evolve all the way into a champion's ace Pokemon. Haxorus makes quick work of Dracovish, and it's finally Haxorus versus Ash's Dragonite. Iris again connects with Dragonite and encourages her to have fun battling. This motivates the pseudo-legendary to the point that she learns Draco Meteor, which ultimately knocks Haxorus out. Iris congratulates Ash, and they promise to battle once again someday, and I wonder if that's ever going to come into fruition. And soon enough, Iris makes her way all the way to the Masters 8, ranked as the 7th strongest trainer in the world. Here she reunites with Ash and Go, and even makes a new friend in Hop. In the first round, Iris is matched up against none other than Cynthia in an episode titled Iris' Road to Dragon Master, as if we don't have an actual Dragon Master for Iris to battle. Anyways, Iris vs Cynthia is universally agreed to be the best battle in the quarterfinals of the Masters 8. The battle starts out between Excadrill and Gastrodon. Despite Cynthia gaining control for most of the battle, Iris and Excadrill's bond is displayed in full as she puts her trust in her Pokemon, and Excadrill lands the one-hit KO move Horn Drill. Cynthia's Milotic revenge kills Excadrill, and then also knocks out poor Dragonite in the most violent ways. Literally, ever since Dragonite started obeying Iris, all of his on-screen battles resulted in its defeat. It's probably best that he doesn't listen anymore. Anyways, Iris sends out her last Pokemon, Haxorus, who quickly settles the score. Finally, it's Haxorus versus Garchomp. Iris seems like she actually has a chance to win this, but Cynthia's got something up her sleeve, or rather up her lipstick, as she's got a Keystone. Now, Iris and Haxorus are faced with Mega Garchomp, and her chances of winning have just withered away. Haxorus and Mega Garchomp clash their moves, and in an amazing display of Dragon-type ferocity, Haxorus' dream of battling his mentor Garchomp in a championship arena has finally come true. But he and Iris still have a lot more to grow, as Cynthia and Garchomp ultimately win the battle with Draco Meteor. That's 2 times that we see Iris battle in Journeys, and both times she lost to Draco Meteor. Oh well. Iris stays for one more round to watch Ash's battle with Steven, but after that she, Alon, and Steven go back home. Well, not together, they go their separate ways, but they're going home anyways. We later see Iris watch Ash's battle with Leon up on a tree. How fitting. And that's it for Iris' history. Besides Ash, Iris is probably the character who grew the most in terms of battling skills and reputation. She already was a promising trainer from the get-go, but for her to rise all the way to become a champion and one of the Masters 8 is definitely an amazing thing for her to accomplish. Iris' journey towards becoming a champion is definitely something that fans would really like to see in the anime. If only we had some sort of Pokemon Chronicles that tackles other people's adventures during Pokemon journeys. You guys voted for Iris last time, so make sure you vote in the poll so you guys can decide which character's history we're going to cover next. Thank you guys so much for watching, but as always, it's been your boy LUAP, and I'm out. Peace.